Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your January 2022 tarot reading. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season, and I hope you have an awesome new year also. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic Cross spread as always, and I also pulled a couple of Oracle cards and a Mudra card for you guys, but we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we have Taurus, so that's your opposite sign of partnerships, relationships, contracts, and we have Uranus there, of course, and the North Node will be there as well in January. All right, we have 12, so for you guys, the 12th house is Libra energy. Nothing really going on there, astrologically speaking, but there could just be some focus in that area. And we have the Moon. So as far as lunar cycles go in January, there's going to be a new moon, I think around the second day or so of January in Capricorn, which is your third house communication. And there's going to be a full moon in Cancer toward the end of Capricorn season. That's going to be pretty intense too. It's going to be opposite Pluto, which is your ruler. So again, it'll be impacting your house communication there too. So we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Nine of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here, and usually it represents an energy of wish fulfillment. But more than anything, the way I usually see it is it just points more to contentment with yourself, knowing what you're bringing to the table, and then coming out of that energy that tends to attract more things your way anyway. So I feel like that could be what you guys are going to be experiencing in January. Possibly your creativity might be peaking. You might feel like you're putting more energy toward your romantic lives. There is the fact that Jupiter will be in Pisces in January, so that could be part of what causes that boost for you guys. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing with that. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Sun and the Nine of Wands. So this is Sag energy here. So I do have to say, seeing these two cards show up in a challenge position, I feel like what it could be saying is that the biggest obstacle here is for you guys to actually believe that this is what's happening for you. You know what I mean? So things might start to improve for you guys in general, but you might feel a bit of skepticism around that, right? Like, okay, how long is this going to last? One of those types of dynamics. But let me see what else comes to mind with this. And for some of you, it might even be, maybe if you're seeing a financial increase and you've been going through a bit of financial difficulty, you might be a little bit reluctant to think that this would be a cycle that would last for you guys as well. So, nothing wrong with a little skepticism, I would say, but let's not move towards pessimism, you know what I mean? So that's what I would say, looking at that combination. In the foundation position, we have the Eight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here, which for you guys is your 8th house. So yeah, I feel like there might have been a reluctance to move on your part recently, maybe not necessarily feeling like you could trust yourselves. If that's the case, I will say we're about to have that full moon at the time of recording this anyway. We're about to have the full moon in Gemini. So for those of you who watched this when I first posted, be on the lookout for anything that might come up around that time. And for those of you who watched this in January, maybe you could think back to that time and see if that helped bring some insight into some situations for you. All right. In the past position, we have the Three of Wands, which is Aries energy, and the Six of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy. So I do have to say, with these two cards coming up, this energy is usually an energy we refer to as the waiting for your ships to come in energy, because usually this is where you feel like you've put a certain amount of work in and you're just waiting to see the rewards of that work. And with the Six of Pentacles, it represents an energy of balance being restored in a certain way. So given that we do see your 6th house energy here with Aries and 7th house, for some of you this could have been around a work situation where you felt like, okay, you've put in the work, you paid your dues, maybe you're expecting some kind of a raise or promotion. But for some of you this could also be around a relationship, a one-to-one romantic relationship too, where you're feeling like, okay, you felt like you were doing more than your fair share in the connection, and now you're just waiting for the other person to step up. But yeah, either way, that's the energy I'm seeing in the past, where you might have been hoping for this dynamic to play out, but I didn't necessarily see you as being an active participant in that with this combination of cards in particular. All right. In the present position, we have the Queen of Wands. So Aries energy here. So I will say if this is around your work lives, this can represent an improvement there for sure. So if this was some kind of a, like I said, whether a raise or a promotion or bonus or something along those lines, it looks like you might actually be seeing that come through for you guys this month. And just in general, I feel like this is saying that you might be feeling a bit strong, high energy, given that this represents sixth house for you guys, which could also point to your health, daily routines. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing with that. All right, in the near future position, we have the Eight of Wands. So definitely moving into a more action-oriented energy, I'm feeling. Possibly taking some more action when it comes to your finances as well. So yeah, if there was some kind of a financial block that you guys have been experiencing, looks like that will be clearing away for you guys in January for sure. And let me see what else comes to mind with this. And it could have been one of those things too, if you maybe were in a more passive role, right, with that Three of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and then seeing the Eight of Wands immediately after that could just be saying that you might have shifted gears into a more action-oriented energy, as opposed to the Eight of Swords that we see as well in Foundation. So, looks like a definite improvement there. And I will say part of this, especially if it is around finances, could just be due to the fact that Mars moved into Sagittarius, and it'll be there for pretty much all of January too. So that could be what's shifting your focus as far as improving your finances and maybe increasing your possessions. Right? In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Fool. So yeah, definitely a lot of indicators here for maybe in the, so even at Nine of Cups, for some of you might have been one of those things where you were more waiting for things to come your way. And now you might be shifting gears into more of an active role toward making that happen for yourselves. But yeah, this looks like the desire to start something fresh, get out there, put yourselves out there. So it looks like you're going to be feeling pretty energized. Right? In the environment position, we have the Ace of Swords, King of Cups, which is actually you guys, and the Two of Wands, so more Aries energy here. Quite a bit of Aries energy. There's actually the Emperor at the bottom of the deck as well, which is more Aries energy. So for a lot of you, this can be around your work, daily routines for sure. Some of you might even be dealing with an Aries, but for the majority of you, I feel like this is more focused on your energy as opposed to that of another. But yeah, and you know what? This could even be that insight for you guys, right? Where, like I said, maybe you've been taking a bit more of a passive role lately. And it could have even been going back to your previous readings. I remember that we were talking about how you were going to have all that energy, but maybe you're going to be rubbing people the wrong way. So you might have just been encountering roadblocks during that time. And maybe now those roadblocks are clearing for you. So now you're like, okay, finally, the things that I wanted to tackle, now I could actually tackle them. And I'm actually facing less resistance. So it could just be one of those things, you know, where these are things that you've had in mind, you know, you wanted to take action, and now you're actually ready to do so. If that's the case, it looks like the road's going to be pretty clear in that regard. So good sign there. Okay, in the Hopes or Fears position, we have the Four of Swords. So interestingly enough, like I said, it looks like all the indicators I'm seeing here is that you guys are going to be more action oriented. So for a lot of you, this might actually be a fear of yours, right? Where you're hoping to not just sit back and relax and just let things come your way. I feel like this is you taking a more active role in your lives. So I mean, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily see this as a fear per se, but maybe this was an energy that you were looking for at one point, and maybe even at the time recording this, you might still feel like you want a little bit more rest. But from what I'm seeing here, looks like something definitely will shift for you guys in January to where you're going to want to take more action. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Page of Swords. So this is another indicator of taking action as well. You know, for example, I always point out that the aces are more of having an idea of something, like we see there, right? And then the page energy actually represents taking that action, because if we look at the two side by side, we see that hand coming out of the cloud. So that makes me think of more of having an idea of doing something, whereas the page, we actually see the sword in its possession. So that would represent actually taking the action around whatever this idea was. So yeah, definitely looks like it's going to be an action-oriented month for you guys for sure. Like I said, even if you're not there yet, and you might still be in a bit more of an energy that's a bit more passive and wanting things to come your way, looks like something's going to shift gears for you in January to where you're really going to be a lot more active. All right, moving on to your oracle cards. We have be impeccable with your word and replace fear with love. All right, and there's the message on it. So it says the human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. When you are impeccable with your word, your mind is no longer fertile ground for the words that come from fear. Your mind is only fertile for the words that come from love. So, pretty positive message there. Hopefully that resonates with you guys. And then next we have Yang. There's the artwork, and the number is 1. So yeah, this looks like an action-oriented energy there too. So yeah, it's almost like you guys were, I don't know, maybe the Mars transit was like on a bit of a tape delay for you guys because now it's going to be moving out of your sign. It looks like you're more action-oriented. But yeah, like I said, it could have just been that you might have been encountering roadblocks from others more or less where you were ready to roll, but maybe in your environment people weren't necessarily on the same page, and now you might be finding that energy clear. All right. Central meaning says the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. The oracle's message. Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward, and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. So, pretty positive message there, and it does seem to support, like what we were saying there, where it looks like you will be having that shift where you do move into more of an action-oriented mode. The relationship message says, circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement toward your highest good, so go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. I mean, yeah, like I said, well, to be fair, we do have Taurus in your dice, which does represent your opposite sign of relationships, but I was going to say I didn't see too big of a relationship vibe from this spread. If that's the case, you might even be dealing with another Scorpio, possibly an Aries, but yeah, I will say there does seem to be that openness there if this does represent the energy of another person, but it might have to be you who initiates it. Okay, the prosperity message says, projects, partnerships, and all matters relating to your business are out of the obstacle phase and on to the make it happen phase. Now is the time to stake your claim and get things done. While you can expect to be busier than usual, this card tells you that you have all the energy and vitality you need to accomplish your goals. Abundance is waiting for you to claim it. So yeah, I definitely agree with that message. Like I said, it definitely looks like your energy is going to be high. You're going to be able to get things done. So hopefully that resonated with you as well. And lastly, we have a Mudra for you guys. So this is your Mudra here. It's the Gada Mudra, and the keyword for it is stability. All right, so there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot. And not everything's in the frame, so I'll move it up so we can get the rest in there. Okay, so under benefits, it says improves elimination and tones the organs of the pelvis, treats hemorrhoids and prolapsed organs, strengthens the Muladhara chakra, opens the flow of rising energy up the back of the body, evokes feelings of stability, groundedness, and safety. So if you feel like this would be a mudra that would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. Once again, hope you guys are having a good holiday season and a happy new year. I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.